Hi, this is Michael, and this is my review of the KitSound Soundbar 2. This is a pretty nice looking speaker. It's not going to be for everybody for a couple of reasons, and I'll talk about those in just a second. You see, this is an angled type of speaker. It's sort of like what studio monitor speakers might be like for bands. They usually put these types of speakers on the floor, and the speakers angled up towards the performer. So that is the design apparently of this. There's rubber pads here, and it is designed, they actually say on the box that the best sound can be achieved by placing it on the floor. So this is going to be an upward facing type of speaker instead of pointing directly towards you. And I like to have this on my fireplace, and my mantle is, pretty high, at least a 5-foot high mantle, and consequently this is pointing the sound up towards the ceiling, and if you're 8 or 10 feet away from the speaker, you're just not getting the proper sound from the speaker. You really have to tip it forward so the tweeters are firing towards you. Speaking of that, this has a relatively large passive bass radiator in the middle, and then you have the drivers on either side. On the end of the speaker are the controls, and although the panel here on the side is pretty good size, they easily could have had separate controls for all the functions. For some strange reason, they decided to use multifunction buttons, which I really don't care for. And added to that is these aren't labeled in a helpful way in case someone unfamiliar with the speaker might want to change the track. All they're labeled as volume plus, volume minus, and pairing. And the volume button, since it's labeled volume, you might think that to change the volume you just push the button. Well, you don't push the button. If you just push the button quickly, that's actually going to change the track. So you actually have to push and hold the button in order to change the volume. And I just find that a little obnoxious, actually. The pairing button is actually also the play and pause button, so this is how you can play and pause your music in addition to getting into the pairing mode. You do have a nice on-off switch, which I like, a sliding switch. There's an auxiliary in input, so you can use this speaker to play something like an MP3 player through here. They do provide an auxiliary in cable, and that's a 3.5mm male-to-male cable. And this is the micro USB charging port here, and they do give you a USB to micro USB cable for charging as well. The construction on this feels nice and solid. It's got a metal grill. The rest of it is plastic construction. And it does have a very nice sound. I think the bass is, although it's not as deep and full as you might expect from a larger speaker, the passive bass radiator does a pretty nice job in getting a nice quality of bass out of this. The highs and mids aren't quite as crisp and clear as some other speakers that I've heard, although the overall effect is a very nice sounding speaker. I do want to play something here for you just so you can get an idea of the sound quality. Just keep in mind that because of the compression that Amazon does to their videos and just the fact that I'm recording this from a camcorder, there's going to be some loss of quality here, but hopefully you get some sort of an idea of the sound quality here. Now this is a 10-watt speaker, which surprised me because it doesn't seem to play as loud as I would think a speaker might play with 10 watts of power. Of course, power isn't the determining factor either. So it has a nice sound, but I believe the highs really lack some crispness and presence that I would like to hear. It's not a bad sound by any means, but when you do a direct A-B comparison to some other speakers, you do begin to notice the differences. So right now I would like to compare it to the Creative Sound Blaster Roar, which I just happen to have here as well. And since it's nearby, I've just played the same song through that speaker to give you an idea of the difference in the sound. This has a pretty large capacity battery in it, and therefore you're going to get up to 10 hours or more of playtime depending on the volume that you're listening. So that is a really nice, nice amount of time. Also, there is a little indicator light over here that does blink while the speaker is on, but it's very inobtrusive, and plus it points off to the side, so it's really not going to affect you. If you're in a darkened room and you're looking towards the speakers, you're not going to see blinking light coming out of the front of the grill, which I do appreciate. It comes with a very nice padded carry case with a double pull zipper, which is a very nice way to get the speaker around. But I think the speaker is more the kind of speaker that you're going to leave in your house rather than transport it around just because of its design. It's really not an outdoor speaker necessarily. I mean, you could certainly use it on your patio, don't get me wrong, but this isn't something probably you'd want to take along with you camping or whatever. Just because of the design, it's really not I wouldn't consider it a rugged speaker, although it is certainly a very well-built speaker. All in all, I'm impressed with the speaker. It's very nice. It has a clean, modern look to it. It does have nice sound, great battery life. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll answer it if I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.